Is it worth trading Theatre of Sloth for Testament of Tyrants? I mean, yeah. I guess so. That Wrath is actually doing a lot of work for me. It's giving me potentially a +1 action. Or will be. So it'll be painful to lose it. Oh man, people trying to nuke Robbo's, Sharpo's guys here. That is painful. I wish they wouldn't. It does make me wonder whether Dan or Robbo, or whoever it is that's doing it, is actually in league with Jake. Something like that. He's playing some fancy game. Why people there trying to hit Sharpo, I don't know, because he's just not as much of a threat as Jake. Oh well. Right. Messages time. He's taking rituals on my guys right now as I move towards Jake, so I increasingly believe. As you move towards Jake. Move towards Jake. Moving towards Jake. I don't understand that message, Dan. Sorry. Yeah, they do seem to be coordinating. Dan does seem convinced you're with Jake. You probably need to prove otherwise, I guess. Send. Elizabeth has brought demands against Lilith. Ooh. Ooh. That changes my message. Okay, so the new message is, yeah, they do seem to be coordinating with Dan. So they do seem to be coordinating, and Dan does seem convinced you're with Jake. This demand from Jake might change that, though. He's moving at you very aggressively. Oh, this demand from Jake is interesting, though. I guess we see how it plays out. So I'm just, yeah, trying to not let slip that I'm in alliance with Sharpo. Robbo and Dan alliance wouldn't make sense, by the way, because if they fight, they'll just be fighting for the rest of the game. So it makes sense just to like carve the rest of the map up and then deal with each other later. Okay, purge the weak. Right, so all level 1 and 2 legions hired from the bazaar are destroyed. A random hired legion from each archfiend's domain is destroyed. So, as I think I was discussing before, I don't know what hired legion specifically means in mechanical terms. Like, is a starting legion counted as a hired legion? Because if so, everyone gets nuked, and Jake's the only guy with 2 guys, and then Purge is all level 1 and 2 legions are hired from the bazaar are destroyed. I'm going to go with Purge, which seems silly, but whatever. I'm playing it safe. Okay, right. So, other things to do this turn. Obviously, the big one is declare an Urzabet. Demand, sorry, Urzabet. Okay, there's no point in creating Dance Macabre to the south, because I'll one-hit it, I think. It's got 2 Infernal and 13 HP, I've got 16, so 14, yeah, I'd one-hit it. And even then I'd destroy it in melee, wouldn't I? Yeah. These guys I'm worried about, so putting them in place is a priority. Dance Macabre wouldn't necessarily help if they attack Testament of Tyrants. I don't think having the support from Macabre Host is actually going to make a difference, so I might stick a Macabre Host in later, but for the time being I've got more important things to spend my money on. I can click on the right button, namely this big old payment. I would like to get destruction up to 4, that would be really nice. Strategic Confusion would also be really nice. In fact, Oh, I'll tell you what. Before I do strategic confusion, I'm going to see whether I can fish for some hellfire. Kind of wanted more than that. It's enough, but it's yeah, it's enough, but it takes me down to 0, and I do not want 0. I've got to consolidate this turn anyway. Oof. Okay. So, let's count out the turns. Demand goes in this turn 30. Jake responds to it, turn 31. If he accepts, it is what it is. If he rejects, then the vendetta starts turn 32. So that gives me enough time to get a little bit of hellfire back for doing on spells, for using on spells. So I think we're okay. I have at least a turn of additional tribute getting, and I've got gonna have 2 extra actions hopefully if it all goes through. So I should be okay. Okay, big turn. See what everyone else did. Oh, Sharpo. Ooh, big hit, big hit. Yeah, Sharpo's ducking and weaving. Don't want to get caught. Oh no, don't like those guys. Right, who are these guys? Vorpal blades. Oh, they're only level 1. Could they take? No. Yeah, and they're nuke distance as well. But you don't want to nuke them, you want to nuke these guys. With Valak, you really want to nuke those guys. Okay. Adversaries bicker, let's have a look. Vendetta. Astaroth demanded. Belial didn't. Robbo, what is your game? Why aren't you just demanding, my friend? Are you in cahoots with Erzabet? Baiting us all to attack him on turn 30 and then not doing it and then waiting for us to get wrecked? And if that's your game plan, fine. Does make me want to ally harder with Sharpo though. No demand on Jake. Okay, time to boost my powers up. Okay. Now we're going to do a hell of a lot of tribute game. 3 tributes to be precise. Okay, so... Okay, enter. Ooh, wow. That had landed. Oh, hang on. Did that land? Oh no. Oh yes, it did! Oh, wow. Belial, what a move. Damn. Unfortunately, that was the wrong one to convert because they were in kill range. But there we are. Still a massive deal. Right. Well, Still no Theatre of Sloth then. And yet another small demand. Oh. I mean, that was the right move there from Jake, I'd say. Accept my demands. Let's fight Tom alone. Let's see what the... Yeah. So fight Tom individually. 3 counters in 3 turns to beat Tom. That's doable. Orbital Blades can they take? Head of Skulls. This is a big turnaround, I would say. This is a big switcheroo. Oh boy. Robbo, that was a steal. Steal and a half. And you got the Praetor, god damn. God damn. That is a switcheroo. Jake still has tons of places of power, so he's definitely not out, and those places of power give some nice bonuses. Well, the one I click on doesn't, obviously. But Palace of Gluttony does, Tribute Draw is big, Resistance is big, although it hasn't worked for him when he needs it. I reckon Jake probably cuts off Sharpo, right? Got 3 moves. Yeah. It's a big turn, that is. Okay. Let's look around. Range last. Interesting. Melee +4, nice. Pretty good value. Alright, let's look at messages. Let's look at messages. Interesting developments indeed. Seems Jake is doomed to fail for this round. Once you distribute the race's powers, though, I propose we extend our little Concord into taking Sharpo down a few pegs. Maybe not. Reason being, I've done a prophecy on Jake, and he's kind of made the classic rookie mistake. So still on 2 order slots, etc. Still need to deal with his current lead, but he won't be a late game power. Sharpo, on the other hand, is looking pretty dangerous and isn't easily attackable. So, a couple of things here. First, about Jake's build. Yes, that's true actually, and I didn't point that out actually when I did my Dark Augury on him, which is that yeah, he'd still left those skills at 1 and had spent money on other stuff, so yeah, so it's going to still be on 2 order slots, which is true. It's hard to scale when you're on so few order slots. This does raise a point though, which is that I am worried about the other players. Sharpo not less so, because obviously if he's doing well, then we'll see. But then that's fine for me. But Dan I do worry about, because he hasn't had anything negatively impact him for a while, so he must be scaling. Robbo obviously similar, although without a place of power, but that's not too big a deal. He'll still be getting action slots and doing stuff, and he's got abilities to do things, clearly. Steal and destroy legions and stuff, so that's a threat and a concern. So yeah, lots to think about there. Next point, dealing with Sharpo, knock him down a few pegs. Oi, I don't know how to play this, I'm going to be honest, because I don't want to give the game away that I'm working with Sharpo. But if push comes to shove, I don't want Dan to be getting more powerful and Sharpo to be getting less powerful. We're still early enough that we could reverse that if it happens soon. That's maybe something to consider. That's easier said than done. It depends what I mean by knock him down a few pegs. Let's just ask the question then, I guess. So our message is, what did you have in mind to re-Sharpo? And this is just so that I could just see what Dan's thinking. Whether I feed it back to Sharpo or not, I don't know at this stage. But I also think it's a mistake to forget about Robbo just because he's got no pops. That Legion is seal is a wake-up call. If he's going He's gone the default Belial build with with extra order slot and has had a lot of time to build powers. I'm pretty worried about him late game 2. So this is just to put in Dan's mind that he's a threat, to try and take the heat off Sharpo slightly, without like suggesting I take the heat off directly. From my point of view, Robbo and Sharpo getting into a fight would be a big deal, but I'm conscious they could be allied. Which, yeah, we'll see what Dan says, basically. If they are allied, then whatever I say now doesn't make a difference. Let's see what Sharpo says. Yeah, I'm not loving this, to be honest, plus his legions are way faster than mine. I think he's just going to hunker down, buy my better pop, and support it with my legion. I think I'm just going to hunker down. He moves before me for the next 2-3 turns, so if I can get a snipe in after that, I'll try. Belial didn't even do a demand after all that synchronizing. Cheeky boy. Very Belial move. I'm mildly concerned that Dan has the puppet wind relic now I think of it. Not for any solid reason, but it's about time he raised its head. And Dan feels like the guy that could make it work. Yeah, that's a good call. Message to Lilith. Okay, so that's still from Robbo. He's huge, to be fair, even though he's only got the starting pop. I think he could be dangerous late game, especially if he and Dan are working together. Interesting thought about Dan, I'll bear it in mind. And looks like Jake is a bit less of a threat now, but we definitely can't forget about him. So, yeah, interesting about Dan. We'll see. Don't know what actionable thing we can do right now. Okay, so what do I want to do now? How does this change the game? Well, Jake's looking less of a threat now that his legions have been destroyed and he's lost a bit of prestige and lost a bit of money, although he hasn't lost that much. But we don't know how much it hurts him, to be fair. I could Dark Augury him and find out, and in fact reveal 2 vaults of Dark Augury. Is that 2 different vaults or the same vault twice? I might actually just try and find out and see. Okay, so I want to rank up soon. I'm concerned about falling behind in the general power curve, so I want to rank up soon. In fact, tell you what, let's look at the power curve. So, Duke, close to Duke, and a lot of prestige. Me and Astaroth. Well, Astaroth is behind me. Yeah, I want to be getting up there in terms of rank. Oh man, if Sharpo goes for Prince, that would be interesting. He wouldn't have a lot of time to make back prestige, so we might have to go for a Pandemonium play. If he gets a lot of prestige quickly, he might. It's worth engaging Jake at this point, saying, look man, I just want the Temple of Sloth. I'm going to keep demanding till I get it. If you give it to me, I will work with you to make sure you don't get knocked out. If I was in Jake's position, what would I do? He is mega spread out. Unholy Fountain isn't great. He wants Pillar of Skulls. Pillar of Skulls, that would be like a good, that would be a solid region to look after. Lock off Pandemonium. Keep that sort of quad, because he's got the movements to get back and forth, right? So that's, although it's quite a lot of cantons between the two, go for Pandemonium play, that's what I'd do if I was him. But he is new, and so he might not know the dynamics, and might not know the mechanics of doing a Pandemonium play. Sharper does a Pandemonium play. Does that mean that my relic doesn't work, my Kingmaker doesn't work? Interesting to find out, actually. If it does happen, I might not try it. I might not interfere with it just to see if it happens. Okay, right. Back to my strategizing. Do I sort of meta threaten Jake? I think I probably do. We have hit him fairly hard now, harder than I thought we would. We haven't taken his spaces of power, so I haven't gained anything out of all of this, except for, I suppose, I've gained some prestige and some small amount of tribute. But we haven't gained that much, really. I feel like I don't want to probably knock him out. Also, it probably feels bad from his point of view, and from my experience in games, in these games, is that it probably feels bad where he is right now. Like, you feel like you're doing well, then everyone just like turns around and kicks you. You're like, oh great. Right, me for having fun then. Yeah, I think I'll do it. Right. He hasn't sent any messages previously, so maybe he just doesn't want to. Okay, so the downsides to the message I'm sending is that I broadcast fairly clearly that I'm lining up for the Age of Sloth. I mean, to me it seems fairly obvious, but to him it might not. He can't really defend it long term either, except by going on the offensive against me, which, to be fair, isn't a terrible idea. Okay, I'm going to send it. I think this could be a misplay by me. Could end up being a misplay by me. I also think it's unlikely he'll reply. So all I'm doing is just feeding him info, but I think I'll take that risk. Right, next up, things that I want to do this turn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them all, but I'm just going to start going. I want more info on Robbo. I don't think hitting him with the Dark Augury is going to work. But I'm going to try anyway. I also want to, while I'm casting rituals... Oh, I need more. Huh. Hellfire. Of course. Oof, that's not the draw I want. Hellfire, please. Ooh. Do I go for really high Wrath? It would be good to. I'm liking having Wrath, and so I might end up keeping Testament of Tyrants. Before I make that decision, I'm just going to summon Abyss Strider, because I just want to get that Legion, that third Legion battle, like there. And I would also need to move you into there after. So raise the Abyss Strider, move in, hit it, good stuff. Right. Okay, so right, we're going to look at my progression now. So I've got my 3/4s, so the 2 routes that I reckon are appealing right now. So I get plus to destruction. So I want to max out my destruction. So I want to go destruction chain. Let's just see what I get for 5 and 6 as well. Corrupt Tribute I might actually be quite a good one for hurting everyone else except Sharpo in the late game to make sure Sharpo wins. Banish Praetor is also really nice. That I think would be a good one to have. Yeah, obviously Die Dissipation, also big. And then 6, Planar Lock. 3, yeah, Planar Lock is brutal. I think I want to go for Destruction 6 rather than any of the other ones. Let's look at Wrath though. Skipping the combat phases is just so nice. So brutal as well, because if someone messes around with my Infernal first, if I skip their main combat phase, I might still be able to win. Myself with. The other thing I need to be careful of is stealing, is defense rather. So yeah, convert Legion 6. Oh, that means Rob is 6 deceit already. But yeah, I need to be careful of that. Convert Legion. So I need deceit defense and arguably destruction defense. Yeah, okay. Right. For the time being, I'm not going to progress Wrath until I have enough Ichor / blood, as I think of it, to I'm not that bothered about 5, I do 6. That's quite a lot to spend, quite a lot of actions. I do definitely need to get my deceit up just to get the passive resist up, but Prophecy gives me the resistance to it, so there's going to come a point where I just have permanent resist on, I think, those resist rituals, so which means I need lots of ritual slots. I've got a couple actually, but potentially I do go for Prophecy 5. because it gives me Evil Ward 2 and an extra ritual slot. Time being, seat 1. Okay, now look at the Bazaar. I think I'm going to go for the... Ooh. It would help me get to 6 though. It would help me get to 6, that's for sure. Okay, right. I can't decide, so I'm just going to consolidate. Okay, right. I want to think slightly more meta game about this. Not meta game, but like higher level. I don't want to be going on the offensive right now. I don't want to seem like a threat at all, so I don't want to like piss anyone off. So going for destruction probably isn't a good idea, so I think yes, the extra order slot, despite being incredibly tempting, is probably the one to go for. However, that means that I'm not going to have the money to buy it unless I cancel one of my orders. So what's it going to be? It's probably going to be the Dark Augury, despite me wanting to get... I'm going to cancel the Augury instead. Seek Tribute, hope that I get 3 tributes worth of souls. Right. I think that'll do. It's been a long turn. Exciting move. Oh, it's Bumhole, guys. Everyone's favourite. Alright. Oh no. Oh no! That's annoying. Reduced to 0. Can be reduced further by this effect. Luckily, that's a very good one for me to have reduced because it's one I can get back very cheaply. Okay, let's look at the Bazaar. Yeah, just those guys. Where are they? They're down there. Okay. Raise a Strider. Yeah. Upgraded. Raised to 1 and it's now 0. Yeah. Nice. Raid. Ooh. Oh, so it's all kicking off now. It's a little bit later than I expected. Raid Erzabet's territory. Do you have guys nearby? Is there some magic spell that I can't see? Dan's guys. They're actually somewhere else on the map, but I can't see where they're supposed to be because I'm ambitious to do a raid now. So they got their win. I could probably get 5 more in. Well, we do it by 1040. Quite a big investment though. Right. Oh, so close to breaking up. Okay. We had a plan, didn't we? And that plan was to get... Oh, I don't have enough souls for this. Sorry. Souls thing I want to do. Oh, it's going to be a waste. It's going to be a real waste. I'm just going to get this in the Bazaar. Do I want to do it? It's going to make me a real threat. Real threat. This might be a mistake. I'm going to go for it. It's probably going to get stolen. I will feel bad, but there we go. I'm overpaying for it in a big way as well. Well, not in a big way, but in a way. Right, that leaves me with enough for nothing. Put the seat up next turn, I guess. Let's quick look at my messages. It says, I'm going to force the issue with Jake. Because I desperately need to explore the thing of my prestige catch up. I want to stick on a sharp level. Right, as soon as I have prestige, I'm worried about Robbo's contribution again. Maybe just certainly like he could easily use his gates to turn. Yeah. I'm not going to help Sharpo. But I don't want to say something that will lead the witness there. So I might just not reply. Dan having to face the power will definitely get him up to speed. Especially if it's one of these two. Some instruction would be very nice, I like that. Yeah, I don't know what to say to Dan. He's maybe feeling me out to see whether I'm allies with Sharpo or not. Okay, what does Roy say? I want to test the United Steel first. On his involved this turn, the Empire of Pit will shrink. Okay. Yeah, I think this is knocking Jake back pretty hard. Sharpo's definitely the big threat. Oh, if Sharpo's a big threat and gets hit early, that's probably better for me. Because if he gets hit early, he can recover. If he gets hit late, he can't. So if Dan does hit him, it's not the end of the world. I don't like Dan making a comeback there. It's going to get real nasty. I'm going to another plot going. Yeah, I don't like how Dan is starting to want to move against Sharpo. Puts me in a difficult position. So I don't want to take sides and fight Dan. Really. I want to let the pack stay fairly level until later in the game. I don't want Sharpo to get hit too hard, but I don't want them to get too big. I think I'll just let it play out. Okay. Turn. Okay, I'm doing a new thing to try and get the recording times down. So I'm just going to go through all my actions at the end of the turn, explain what I'm doing, rather than go through it live. So tribute-wise, I'm just trying to get Darkness and Ichor, or Hellfire even, to get Destruction and Deceit up. As far as my set of plans that I got, it wasn't ideal. I went with Battle supported by a Friendly Legion because I can engineer that myself quite easily, so not too worried about that. I have won the auction that I was going for, so that's great. So I'm equipping that this turn, and I'm also casting Exposed Treason on myself to increase my Deceit resistance, which is it's very expensive to do that because I'm going to be paying a Hellfire return to maintain it, but I really don't want anyone nicking my artifacts, basically, which I'm at risk of because I've got Deceit Resistance 1, I think, at the moment. I've got basically nothing, so I'm very vulnerable, especially as Robbo has Deceit 6 by the sound of things. So I'm just going to maintain that entire game. It's going to cost a lot, and it'll set me back, but I'm more worried about having a catastrophic loss rather than doing poorly economically, because again, I don't have to win by going economy. With that said, I'm still trying to seek some tribute because I've got to keep the money coming in, and ideally I would be increasing my tribute gain. There's some stuff still in the bazaar for that. These two are also really nice. If I get a good draw, well, in fact, all these three are nice, so I may consider picking up one of those. We'll see. But otherwise, keeping it fairly quiet. Okay. Oh. You raised that Abyss Strider. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure that's going to be deterrence. Not sure. Oh, also, I forgot to say in my previous turn that Jake never replied to our message. So I don't know what to do about that. Ooh, down to 1. Oh no, he's got the... Yeah, the additional phases, what am I talking about? It's easy. Brazil Island, that's unfortunate. Dan's definitely back in it now. Let's go. I don't know what that Abyss Strider, who it was and who it was going for. But it doesn't really phase Sharpo. Give him the extra. I should be raising Abyss Striders, really. It's probably a mistake doing this exposed treason thing, but oh well. Okay, so end of the turn. I decided not to immediately declare on Jake. I don't want him to get knocked down too far. I would still like the Age of Sloth. I don't want him to get knocked down too far. He still can hurt me if he's got money and stuff. So I'm conscious of that. I want to still seem not like I'm not a threat, and I'm worried that I'm getting too big and might start drawing attention. I've ranked up this turn, so that's a factor. I've also seeked tribute 3 times and improved my deceit to level 2 and bid on Talisman of Greed because I think I'm going to be doing all my actions. I'm going to be doing a lot of seeking tribute. So if I can get additional value out of that, I could be keeping up a lot of spells, a lot of protective spells. So that I would like to get one of these 2 still, or any of these 3 still, but we'll see what the draws are like next turn. Used up a bunch of money, so may not be able to, but yeah, we'll see. That's it. End turn. Ooh, big resist. What do you think that was? And 150 prestige. Still pretty good going. Belial's up there. Sharp bit though. Oh no, sorry, he's a whole level, he's a rank down. Never mind. So, okay, my turn has been to seek tribute for the most part, attach my artifact, and get a consolidate in to get some souls and hellfire into the same coin so that I can buy the next level of destruction when I'm able to. Which hopefully should be next turn with a bit of luck, but if not, the turn after that. Okay, and turn. Huh. That's a quick turn. Right, rankings wise. It's ready to go up to. We'll see whether it does. Ooh. Ooh. That is bad luck. Man, Dan has just been getting absolutely rinsed by the RNG this game. That's so unfortunate. Because he's also not... Oh, no, okay, he is directly connected because his legions are on it. But, I mean, you can take it back next turn, it's not the end of the world, and +1 destruction's great, but it's just funny. It's just, I say funny, it's not funny, it's sad, but unfortunate. Darkly funny. Right. Okay. So my actions this turn are to seek tribute, keep a steady flow of tribute coming in. I have upgraded my destruction, so I'm at destruction 5. Will be at destruction 5. I have bid on Alien God in a Bottle, which is the destruction resist item, which I want because it's comparatively cheap and it would help against Robbo, I think, and, well, anyone, I suppose, but especially Robbo, who I think probably has fairly high destruction. Other than that, I have probably danced my carpet down here, so I can get some prestige from my plot that needs me to have a supported win. And lastly, I have asserted weakness on Jake to see if I can take Theatre of Sloth. So kind of force the vendetta. My plan is just to lock his guys in place if I can. And we'll see how it goes. 2, 3, 2, yeah, okay. So I've also sent some messages. So Dan's messaging to me to basically put the pressure on. This is his message here. To put the pressure on Sharpo and Robbo. I'm happy to put the pressure on Robbo. I am worried about him getting into a good position, even though he's only got one place of power. He's still, or maybe he doesn't actually. But either way, he's in. I think he's been left unattended and definitely could have been building a power base. Sharpo is more tricky, obviously, because I don't want him to get hit too hard. So I'm trying to find a way out of actually doing any real damage. So I just sent a message saying that I can take Mines of Gehenna. I have no intention of actually doing it, but just to make it look like it's not super obvious that I'm allied with Sharpo. And I've explained that I'm going to be declaring on Jake against. And then I've sent a message as well to Sharpo to just explain what's happening. So saying Dan's pushing for an attack on you. I mean to declare on you if you do just accept the declaration, and I'll find some way of repaying you later on. And then if Dan does declare on you himself, which I doubt he will, but if he does, then if Sharpo declares on me straight away, that means I don't have to declare on Sharpo. So that would kind of give me cover for why I'm not declaring on Sharpo. And then he can always choose Praetor Duel, and I can just not submit a Praetor, which is a valid excuse, right? Because I don't want to lose my Praetor, because it's good. There we are. We'll see what comes of this. I feel bad about stringing Dan along. I would like to be in an alliance with Dan as well. But there we are. If the RNG had chosen Dan for my Kingmaker, we would see. With that said, actually, Dan could just suddenly come out in the late game and wreck face. He's not in too bad a position, to be honest, and definitely could scale up. It's just that he's quite far behind in ranks. Sorry. Okay, Jake went up to Prince. He did it. He done did it. So now Sharpo's definitely in the lead. Win. Oh man, that's big. He has enough time. It's turn 38. He easily has enough time to get the prestige back. It's just going to be really hard. Ooh. Belial. Okay. How big are his guys? He hasn't done it yet, obviously, but he's probably going to pick these guys, isn't he? Oh man. Yeah, I just don't like him. Just don't like these. Don't like that situation over there. Right. There's a bet, wasn't it? Won that. I wanted that. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. I won God in a Bottle, which is the one I wanted. Okay, so let's go through my turn. I have marched my guys into the Theatre of Sloth. Hopefully I win. I've got some tribute. Improve my deceit. So that'll be to 3. Yep, 3. I have consolidated 8 I-Core as well, because I got a ton of it, and I won't be able to spend it quickly. I don't particularly need to go up in the Wrath, but I've just got the I-Core free. The Souls are the problem. I don't have a lot of Souls, but I can deal with that later. But yeah, I'm getting a ton of I-Core, so I figure it gives me options, and the healing rate might end up being quite beneficial. I don't want to spend it all in case I need to buy legions quickly late game. I don't want to right now because I don't want to seem like I've got too much stuff. But yeah, so I'm just going to get some consolidated tokens and kind of keep them ready for if anyone hits me. The one thing I realised I haven't done, whoops, is equip my artifact. So let's do that. I guess it'll take me tribute, which is going to be annoying. Yeah. I don't like it being on the Testament of Tyrants, though. I'd rather it be on the Theatre of Sloth. So I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to not do it. This is where my guys get nuked. And it would be really sad. They're 15, so they shouldn't go. Unless people are teaming up to nuke them, they shouldn't. My Praetor could get banished. That would be really painful. But then, hopefully people will pity me and think I'm not very good. So, yeah. Let's look at other stuff that's happened. Jake got the prophecy resistance item, which is frustrating. I wanted that, but, you know, I could have bought it at any point, so fair enough. I did get the blood in the bottle, which is great. That structure resistance will be really useful. Especially the banished Praetor protection. Yeah, Erzbet's conceded demands, so Robbo still hasn't got his thing. And I've sent a couple of messages. So for Dan, he's basically said to me, Sharp is fat denying an alliance. I'm not 100% sure. And I basically said, yeah, we'll see how he responds to my move against Jake. And kind of maybe read the idea that he's not an alliance. I'm trying not to go too, trying to not to lie to Dan too much. Other messages, Robbo's messaged me trying to get me into an alliance. Trying to feel out late game what we're going to do. I don't want to commit to an alliance. I basically said to him, I'm trying to fly under the radar, let's not formally ally or anything, because they'll just go straight on us. I'm trying to feed in the idea as well that we've beaten up on Jake and we should probably stop, partly because it probably feels really bad for Jake and I feel bad about that. Although he is a prince, I think he's not as much of a threat as he was before, and I want to keep him good but not great, right? I don't want him a massive threat, but I want him up there, so because I want to use him to balance against the other guys, or Robbo and Dan, I guess specifically, so that they, so there's someone else in the mix. Although if someone allies with Jake, then it could get tricky. But But yeah, I don't want Jake to be completely knocked out of the game. Partly from a longer term level, I don't want him to have one game and everyone be up on him and it feel really bad, and then him never play again, because it has been very fun and I think he would enjoy the game. Unfortunately, he just was too threatening too early, and so it triggered all our wrath. Well, we're now being really cagey. We are being very cagey this game, I think, and it's very diplomatic, way more diplomatic than any of our games in the past. We've been talking tons more and making much fewer moves. No one's done anything really nuts. It's all been very cagey. Oh, last message as well was that I messaged Sharpo back. He's basically said to me, "Are you still friends?" In fact, I'm actually going to edit my message very slightly now. I'm rereading it. Where he, okay, so yeah, he's saying, that we're still friends. Bit worried he's a bit worried about me not attacking Robbo or Dan, so I've basically explained that I'm trying to keep Robbo and Dan on side, because I think if they hit us, if they realise we're allies, they'll hit us really hard, and that will hurt and be difficult. Really, potentially could be the thing that knocks us out of the game. I want to leave it as late as possible before swinging behind Sharpo. However, if we leave them too long, if nothing happens and they get really big, then yeah, that's going to get real messy. I think once our alliance comes out, that kind of could be the point that the game hinges on. Because if either or both of us get knocked down too hard, yeah, I can't put Sharp in a position to win, or I can't win by myself. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there you go. So that's that. Right, okay, end of turn. Summary. Going for 4 big seek tributes to try to get a bunch of money and push my deceit up to 4. And potentially get some stuff from the Bazaar next turn. Unfortunately, everything I want from the Bazaar is deceit as well, so that would be great. Acid deceit resistance and plus on destruction would also be great. This would get me to 6, that'd be huge. It'd be much cheaper than going the traditional route. So I'm keen to get that if I can. Also, the worm mount wouldn't go amiss. I have also got Wrath 5 just because I had the I-Core to spend, and the phase order tactics are always good, and Dying Vigor is always good. Phase order tactics is a bit weird because I'm going to be going, because my guys are Infernal first anyway, but I can always go like melee last or something like that, right? I can always change things up somehow. I would want to get to 6, right? If I get to 5, I would probably want to push on to 6 because phase skip tactics are huge. Right. It's getting to the point now where not going charisma is kind of annoying. If I get to the deceit to 4, I might consider going charisma in the end anyway, but I do want to get destruction to 5. Right. Okay. Other things I'm doing, attaching the artifact, of course. I'm attaching it to Theatre of Sloth because I figure it's safest down here. And messages-wise, I'll actually tell you what, I'll go through these first before messages. So I have kept my deceit ritual going. It seems a bit silly at this point, but it's just burning through the hellfire, but I'm getting some money, so hopefully it won't be the end of the world. Oh, yeah, won the Vendetta, obviously. It was a one-turn Vendetta. I have... Dan's picked up some manuscripts, and Robbo's picked up Drums of Woe, which is a good pickup. That's a big level 1 pickup. I'm kind of scared of that, because that removes my named abilities. So my Infernal first, and my Infernal Resonance. Yeah, that would hurt not having those. Oops. Yeah, see how it goes. Almost turn 40, going towards the end game now. Oh, sorry, messages. Before I go, messages. I've basically pre-warned Sharpo that I might be making some hostile moves against him, and not to worry, not to freak out, and asked if he's going for Prince, because if so, I will probably try and find a way of not killing his prestige. With Dan, I've sent Dan a message saying that he's just told me that Sharpo's got 6 actions, so 6 orders. So yeah, I'm just saying that's a lot of trippy potentially. Potential, and we can go for his plan. So he had this plan of going some Canton Wars off the Toms. Where's the message there? Take some cantons off him, which is like a reasonable plan. So that's what I was warning Sharpo about that I might do. Although I have also said that if we do that, I might push Sharpo and Robbo into an alliance. Sharpo may pretend to be in an alliance with Robbo, or he may actually be, I don't know. May generally push him into an alliance. But yeah, just to like plant the seed of doubt in Dan's mind, I guess that it might be dangerous. But Dan has pointed out that we have a military advantage, and now is kind of the time to use it, really. Use it or lose it, so we'll probably go for it anyway. But yes, hopefully I can somehow wangle my way through. I have to admit, at this point, I don't really know what the end game is with Dan. You'll find out eventually that I'm allying Sharpo. I don't know what happens then. I'm just trying to keep him on side. I figure for me, going late is probably better. I might need to think about a slightly more coherent strategy for the end game. Yeah, there we go. End turn.